Hey, what's up everybody? This is my review of Transformers, Dark of the Moon, MechTech, Human Alliance, IcePick with Sergeant Chaos. So let's take a look at Sergeant Chaos first. And as you can see on his chest, he has a nice Decepticon symbol. Quick look at his head sculpt. The head can rotate, arms can rotate, go out, the wrists rotate, the hips move like so, swivel, and the knees swivels and bends as well. Now, as far as a size comparison, here is Major Linux, which comes from the Human Alliance Jazz set. You can see that Major Linux is a little bit taller. But on to the vehicle mode, and I want to show you the bio here first. It says here that basically IcePick was part of a combiner team that was destroyed. Now that references back to the Power Core combiner IcePick, which is kind of a cool little reference they put in the bio there. Alright, so looking at the vehicle mode. Very nice snowmobile. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this could be, possibly, the only snowmobile Transformer in all of Transformer toy history. I could be wrong, but if you guys know, let me know down below in the comments section. But looking at the vehicle mode, really nice. It's got this nice bronze paint app to the inside of the tread here. And you've got purple translucent plastic here on the windshield and on the headlights. Now, as you can see here on the side, it says Free Con. I'm not sure what that is a reference to. Maybe it's the manufacturer of the snowmobile. My thinking and my creativity says it could be short for Free Decepticons. Free Decepticons. Or if you want to get really wacky, it could be like, come on IcePick, get your freak on. Freak on. But anyways, these do articulate. These just clip on to the back here. And I'll go ahead and remove those. Now the box does say, or the packaging does say this is a triple changer. So it does have a intermediate weapon mode, and I'll go ahead and show you that right now. So basically what you want to do is you want to unpeg this from the back here and bring this down, and this white section here rotates as well, and it's going to rotate to the front here. And then what you want to do is you want to split this, and I'm going to move these up and out of the way for now, these skis. And these are supposed to rotate around so that you have it about like that. And this is supposed to be, this whole contraption here is supposed to be I think a kind of like a chainsaw, I think is what the instructions say. But you can see here you've got a peg here. What you also can do here, if you want to, is you can take these clip-on weapons and you can now actually clip them onto the side of the skis here. They just clip on there like that. So you have that, and that's what they tell you to do in the instructions. So this is the weapon mode for IcePick. Now, what you can do is you can take a Voyager figure like Megatron here and use his MechTech point, or port rather, and plug in IcePick in his weapon mode, and you can see you have that kind of effect there. Unfortunately, Megatron can't really hold it that well, at all actually, due to the joints. But yeah, I think this would be better served in a leader class figure. It would probably be more stable, or stable at all. But then, you know, if you really want to get ridiculous, you can actually plug it into a deluxe class figure. I'm just showing you this because, just to show you that it's possible, you can do it. And you get something like this. Oops, like that, as you can see. Anyways, that is Hasbro's idea of a triple changer / weapons mode. Now, I should mention the fact that in the instructions, Hasbro mentions that you're supposed to have this section right here push down. So if you push it down like that, you can see it reveals the gold paint app. And this is how this is the official weapons mode. But either way, whether you have this up or down, it still looks rather silly. And to add to the silly factor, the box or the packaging does show you can put Sergeant Chaos on the weapon mode. So you do have that option, as silly as that looks. So before I transform this fully into robot mode, I wanted to point out some parts of the vehicle that become the legs and the arms. Here you can see what probably is obviously the leg, the foot here, and then you got the arms here. Now if you take a look at the rear of the vehicle, you can see the hands sticking out like that, so there's no way to hide those. But on to the transformation into robot mode. Basically what you want to do, take this whole assembly again and rotate it back like so. Get that out of the way for now. And then what you want to do is you want to grab onto the legs, extend those out on both sides, and extend out the heel for the foot. Then you can start on the arms, pull them apart, and rotate these off to the side. And then the forearm rotates around like so, and like so. Then you have the head up here, comes up. You want to take this, rotate it up like this back here. Now in the instructions they say to leave this section here like this little bar here underneath the torso, but what you're actually supposed to do is rotate this down so it's like that, and then of course you rotate up the skis like so, and this whole thing should just come together like so. So it should look like this on the side, or from the side. Now back here there is a joint right there. There's a hole, or not really a hole, but a space. You basically want to put that joint through the hole. It becomes the back for robot mode. I'm going to take this down, and I believe I'm going to extend out these so that they become like the wings. And this thing, this whole bar assembly here is supposed to sit flush against the back, and I always get confused as to which way it needs to go. So I think, there we go. And then the wings come out like this, so that you have the silver paint app showing. And here is IcePick in his robot mode. Now one thing I do have to say is this figure is a bit hard to stand in robot mode. It's kind of finicky, but anyways, here it is. Do a little slow rotation around here. Now one thing about the left hand, you can see there's this big chunk of plastic hanging off the forearm, and the directions say to leave it like this, but what I prefer is to rotate it around so you have most of the plastic towards the back. I think it looks much better like that, as you can see there. So I prefer to rotate this whole chunk back like that. Now as far as articulation go, I will start off with the wings. The wings are fairly articulate. I mean, you can bring them down like to this position if you wanted to. Let me just show you back here. Or you can bring them together like this, or out to the side like this, like he's flying or something like that. But they're supposed to be at about this angle here. Now moving on to articulation of the figure itself, you got the head is on a ball joint, and there is a look at the head sculpt, and I'll get more to that. I'll get more back to that later because there is something I want to mention about the head sculpt. But you do have articulation of the shoulders. The shoulders are on a ball joint. The elbow is a ball jointed elbow, and there is no movement at the wrist. This is all one solid piece of plastic, but you do have a sculpted hand there. There is no waist articulation. You do have ball jointed hips, bend at the knee, and that is all you have as far as articulation goes. Now there are these weapons accessories with the clip system on there, so you could clip it onto this little peg here and have it as some kind of dagger, I guess. If I can get it to clip on here. There we go. You know, from the side it looks pretty cool, like doing some stabbing. You got a similar point where you can clip on the other accessory over here. So if you wanted to do that, you certainly have the capability to do so. And I think I even found out you can actually clip it onto, there's this black post right here, and if you can manage to get it on the side of the arm, maybe like that, looks pretty cool there too as well. So you have that option. So there is one aspect of this particular figure I do want to bring up, and that is the fact that even though this is a male-based character, and you can tell because in the bio it says, you know, his and he, this figure reminds me, just the way it's shaped and sculpted and designed, it reminds me a lot of a female or femme-bot. The reason I say that is because if you take a look at the feet, they are set up, you know, with a foot and a heel. And granted, there are other male-based or male-bot transformers with heels, but if you look at also in conjunction with that, if you look at the leg, the hips are rather flared out like a female leg, and overall they're rather slender. And if you look at the head sculpt, looking at the back here, you can see there's this purple plastic here. It looks incredibly like hair, like female hair. Like, you know, obviously a lot of women wear their hair long, so you have this hair going back here that really looks like a female hair, or female head sculpt, or female head. Then, of course, you got the wings, which are rather like a butterfly, which is, you know, kind of associated with you know, a female type of character. So taking into consideration all those aspects of this particular figure, I'm really questioning as to whether this is a really supposed to be a male character or a male bot, because there's a whole lot of feminine cues into the way that they designed this figure. So maybe he has some kind of gender confusion or identity crisis, but nonetheless, I find it interesting. So my final thoughts on this figure, well, I will start out with a negative. The negative, for me at least, was I found it really hard to stand or pose this figure. I'm not sure why, because the joints are pretty good. It may be because of the wings causing the figure to be a little bit back heavy. But nonetheless, for me anyways, I found it difficult to stand or get into a pose. Now, I do like the snowmobile alt mode or vehicle mode. I really like that. It's pretty unique. Like I said before, I'm not sure if it's the only snowmobile vehicle mode in Transformer toy history, but nonetheless, it is pretty unique being a snowmobile. Now, the robot mode is pretty cool. I like the look of it, and that's part of the reason why I picked it up. But it was only until I picked it up that I realized there is some ambiguity to the figure. Like I said before, it's a male character, but the actual toy itself has a lot of female characteristics. You know, with the flared hips, the heels, the way that the head has sort of a hair effect to it, and the wings at the back, all kind of are sort of female characteristics in my mind. So I like that ambiguity in this figure. So as far as me picking up any more Human Alliance basic figures from this wave, no, this is the only one I wanted from this wave. There may be some more in the future that I don't know about that might be appealing to me, but for now, this is the only one I'll be getting, or only one I have, and I don't plan on getting any more. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This has been my review of MechTech Human Alliance IcePick with Sergeant Chaos.